did you know that the benefits of resistance exercise and anaerobic exercise are actually independent from each other? So in this video, we're gonna be talking about 3 home resistance exercises that's good for the heart. Coming right up. So hey y'all, Aman here, and you're watching Heart Limits, a channel that talks about everything heart related. Now, exercise in general is good for the heart because it makes your heart work out. So that in itself already kind of technically promotes heart health. But when you put into the consideration the 2 things, which is anaerobic exercise, where you either run, you jog, or you bike, or you go into resistance exercise, where here it involves either free weights or weights, either using your body weight as the weight or using some object as a form of weight, and your body's kind of resisting that type of weight. Okay, so basically that's resistance exercise. Now, the thing with resistance exercise is, depending on how healthy you are and if ever you have some form of heart problem or anything, the amount that you can actually lift will actually vary. So if you are perfectly fit with nothing wrong, you can typically carry almost the heaviest of things, but of course you can still kind of, injure your muscle or something. But if you are, let's say for instance, you have a heart problem, the amount that you can lift isn't actually so much, because if you push your heart too much to a particular limit, it is quite dangerous. So let's start by breaking down 3 basic exercises, and just to make it more comprehensive for you, I'm gonna be showing you the basic, intermediate, and advanced methods for doing each of these 3 exercises. The first resistance exercise is called the lunge, and it's pretty simple. So I'm gonna show you the basic, which is like this. You stand straight, one foot is supposed to move forward, take a step, and this foot is supposed to bend. Make sure that your body is straight the whole time. And then you take a step back and you do your other foot. Forward and bend. So of course it's better if you do it at the same time. So it's bend and forward, bend and forward, bend and forward, bend and forward. Now when we go to the intermediate, here it involves some weights. You get some weights, and all you need to do is you keep them downward, alright? So it's the exact same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright? Now if we go to the advanced, it involves more of the lifting of the weights while you do the lunge. So it goes like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Resistance exercise number 2 is called the push-up. And I'm sure all of you have heard of the push-up. But the thing is, there are ways that you can do it in an easy way and ways that you can do it really complicated, of course, right? So if you are a beginner, or that you go the easy level, it actually involves using a table. Now, in reality, a normal table, especially if it's an office table, isn't that high. So I would suggest that you would use, the countertop of a kitchen, because it's surprisingly higher than your normal tables, since it's meant to be worked on while you're in some way kind of standing. So it involves the basic concept. So you reach out, your arms are here, try to keep your body as straight as you can, and you start pumping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the intermediate level push-up is basically the push-up that you know of. Which is basically you're straight, you have your arms, and then you start bending down. So it's 1. To be honest, I'm not that strong. 2, but I'm still trying. 3, 4, 5. Alright? Now, to be honest, it's a bit easier if you bring your body all the way down. If you keep it afloat, you're already actually tapping more into the advanced one already. So the advanced is trying to keep yourself afloat and doing some movements like moving to the side, moving your hand. So it's a bit like if you were gonna go down, you start to change up your hands a bit, and then you change it up again. You know, to be honest, I don't have the strength to do it. But yeah, that's your advanced push-ups, alright? Resistance exercise number 3 is called the sit-ups. Now, usually most people do it on a flat surface. They put like a yoga mat or something, and they just try to, bend their feet that way and just, pump along. But I find it actually easier to do it on a couch. So it's pretty basic. You make your feet hang out here. See, the beauty is you already create some form of incline. And the basic goes like this. So arms here to the back of your head. Some people do this, some people do this, alright? So you pump and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be your beginner. Once you go into the intermediate, it involves the more side to side. So it goes like this. 1, 2. So you flap left, flap right, back. 3, 4, 5. Right? So that's your intermediate. Now for the advanced, this one actually found a way. I kind of figured it out in some way myself. So I believe it works really well if you want to develop some form of abs of some sort, right? So the best is actually, it's still the same position, but it's about what you do in the meantime, right? First of all, try your best to contract your abs or your fat or your belly portion, right? So you contract it. Afterwards, normally, when people do a sit-up, they usually are more concentrated towards their back and pushing or pull on their neck, which is not supposed to be the right way. But in the advanced method, what you do is you try to push your chest forward. So you flex your abs or belly or whatever you want to call it, and then you push your chest forward. So you do that 5 times, all right? So flex and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Now, to be honest, this style brings quite a lot of strain. So if you are quite fit, it's a good choice. If you're not, you have to use it quite carefully, alright? Resistance training actually varies in terms of benefits, but studies have shown that doing it for at least an hour or less per week is actually the healthiest amount, especially for your heart. So if you want to, get better results by doing a certain exercise, try to level up the weight. But of course, the problem is if you have a heart problem, you can't really do much about increasing the weight because it could put your life at risk. So, once again, Aman here, and you're watching Heart Limits. Now remember, if you have a heart condition, just to play safe, since you might not be sure of what level of heart condition that you have, ask your doctor if you're able to do these certain resistance training exercises. Alright? So, once again, see ya.